Hey y'all, I have decided to track my ACL injury and rehab and to put it up on a YouTube channel as I've had so many people that are interested in the whole process. So here we go. First off, how did I get injured? So I was up in the Selkirks of British Columbia in Canada with 12 friends, and we had taken a helicopter into a backcountry lodge, and we're staying there for 7 or 8 days. And on the fourth morning, we left the lodge and we went out to the helipad. And from there, we typically take off. And we were skiing down from there that day. And we had split up into kind of two groups of six for that first pitch. And so because I had really kind of been a snow hog, powder pig, as they say, I decided, I've had a whole bunch of first runs. I should let somebody else go first. So I was actually one of the last people to leave the helipad that day. And I went down the left side of the run, and my friend Terrell had dropped down the right side of the run, and it was glorious. Had not stopped snowing since we'd been there, and the snow was so deep, and every turn was face shots, and it was just amazing. And we were hooting and hollering. We were kind of joking. We'd been calling them facials. So we were getting facials. And at the bottom of the pitch, which was not very long, 100, 200 feet, probably 200 feet, the bottom of the pitch, you had to enter into the trees, and there were two quick turns that you had to make, a quick left-hand turn and a quick right-hand turn. And then afterwards, you popped out kind of into an open area again. And Terrell on the right side was lined up for that entry into the tree. So I paused for a second. I said, "You go." And I entered right in behind her. It's very fast, very steep, very aggressive turn. I hit the left one perfectly. I hit the right one perfectly, but sometimes it just comes down to physics and the forces that go into play. And when I made that right turn, of course, I weighted my left leg heavily. It was a very powerful turn, like I said, and my knee just simply gave out, and I felt 5 eerie pops in my knee. It was very disturbing. I immediately fell down. I just kind of leaned to the right, and because I was going so fast, I did kind of twist, and my skis got caught up in a tiny little sapling, and I was kind of stuck there. So when you're backcountry skiing, you don't have a lift, you don't have ski patrol, anything like that. And we're in the middle of the Selkirks. We've gotten there because of a helicopter, and I've gone last. So that means anybody that can get up to me now has to put something on their skis called skins, which is kind of like a velvet, and it allows you to slide forward but not backwards. And so I was screaming for help, and because I didn't want everybody to drop down far enough that they wouldn't be able to hear me. They'd notice I was gone at the bottom, but I was hoping to stop them as quick as possible. So they did have to put on their skins and then get back up to me. So by the time they got back up to me, I had gotten my skis off, and I knew the second it happened that I had blown my ACL. So we had my husband, who's a physical therapist, also on the trip, and we also had an orthopedic surgeon. And my husband got to me first, and of the two, and he tested my knee and said, "Yeah, it's your ACL." So we had two guides, one of which immediately braced my knee, and we wanted to see if I could walk, because I had to get back up at this point, a couple hundred feet back up to the lodge, to the level helipad, and then another 100 feet into the lodge. And so he braced my knee. Initially, I could move my knee quite well, but it really started to swell quite rapidly. So they helped me to my feet and with the brace on, but it was excruciatingly painful, and I just couldn't do it on my own. They had radioed into the lodge and brought a toboggan down, but that was going to require that everybody really pull me up the hillside. So what we decided to do is that if I could be unweighted, then I could kind of walk with assistance, kind of like a fireman's carry up the hill. And so that's what we chose to do. So what this involved was 10 of my friends building with their shovels a 3-person wide skin track that zigzagged up the mountain back and forth through this incredibly deep snow. And so they went ahead of me and dug out the hillside, built this skin track. And then I had one person on each side, my arms around their shoulders. I had one ski on my uninjured right leg. And then I had my ski boot on the left. And I was kind of walking with their support up the hillside. And certainly when we got to flat ground, it was much easier, but all told, it took about 2 hours to get me into that lodge, which I am so grateful that I had so many people that were so strong and fit that could get me up there. So this was on Wednesday, March 4th, and the helicopter was not scheduled to come get us until Saturday. So for the next 3 days, well, that was the morning. So really for almost 4 days, I laid on the couch in the corner of the lodge and I had these unbelievable views, and it was kind of like watching a live Warren Miller movie of my friends. So I could see them way out there skinning up and skiing lines. So at least I had that. 4 days later, the helicopter came and took me back to our vehicle, and we drove to Calgary, and the next day on Sunday, we flew back to the US. On Monday, I had an MRI, and it was late. I didn't get out till 5:30 that night, so I didn't get the results until Tuesday. And Tuesday morning, there were really no surprises. I had a complete ACL tear from the femur. And in addition, as I suspected, I had an MCL strain, grade 1. So no tear, just a strain. And then I had a lateral meniscus tear. And as I suspected, I also had a lot of bony contusions. So I had contusions on my femur and my tibia. So I was really wanting to find out those results. I was really relieved that I didn't have any fractures. It says no damage to my cartilage, which is excellent. So I was hesitant to do too much until I had confirmation from that. So where to go from here? Well, I have spoken to orthopedic surgeon Matt Smith, and I have decided to have reconstructive surgery. And I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people do. And some of the biggest reasons for me to have reconstructive surgery are because of skiing and because of trail running. So your ACL is the main stabilizer of the knee. You can, in fact, really beef up your muscles and get them really strong to provide quite a bit of stability to that knee and possibly forgo having surgery. But when you're really at risk is when you're pivoting or when those large forces go through the knee, when you make unexpected turns or quick turns. And that's exactly what I do with trail running and with skiing. And I like to spend a lot of time in the backcountry as well. And for me, I've already been lucky enough to have a really extensive rescue mission once. And I just don't think it's smart with my lifestyle to go back out skiing in the backcountry without having a reconstructed ACL. So some of the reasons that people don't have their ACL reconstructed is obviously it's a surgery. And one of the risks of that is every time you go in and have a surgery, that increases your chance of arthritis. So this will actually be my 3rd knee surgery and my 4th surgery on that leg. So in 2002 at our wedding, I blew out my knee. I dislocated my patella. I tore bone off my femur, my tibia, and my patella. And I also had a medial meniscus tear. So I had one surgery for that. Then in 2006, while swimming, I pushed off the wall in the pool and I tore my meniscus again. And I also tore another little piece of cartilage. So they went in and took that out and did a partial meniscectomy again. And then in, 2000, I also tore my hamstring off the bone at the proximal end, so up kind of on the ischial tuberosity where you sit, and they actually debrided it and reattached it. So this will be my third knee surgery and my fourth surgery on that leg. So I did take that into consideration, but I still decided with my lifestyle, I needed to have this reconstructed. I need to have that stability in my knee in order to continue to do the things that I want to do. So I am moving forward, and my surgery is scheduled for March 30th. So what do I have to do before then? I have some serious goals that have to be met. And one of those is to decrease the swelling so that you have minimal to no swelling. Second one is that I need pretty much full range motion if possible. So a lot of people are asking me, well, why are you waiting so long to have surgery? This is actually really common. This is actually pretty fast time frame for me to have surgery because of those goals. So if you go into surgery with swelling, and if you go into surgery without having your full range motion, it does not put you in a very good position for a good recovery. And I want to optimize my recovery. So I certainly could wait longer to have this surgery, but with that meniscus tear, I want to get that out. So the other thing that they also found was some slight metal shaving from a previous surgery that's in my knee. So I'm excited to get that out as well. So I have pushed this to kind of as quickly as possible. Obviously, I want to get back to life as I knew it beforehand. So I want to kind of get this show on the road, so to speak. But this is really pretty much as soon as I can do it, and that's why. So I will be updating you here with all kinds of things during this whole probably 9 to 12 month process. So this is going to be quite a process here. But I'll be updating you on everything from what kind of surgery I'm going to choose to have and why, to the things I'm doing for my pre-rehabilitation, to certainly the whole entire recovery process, including mindset and things like insurance, how it just all goes down. And, you know, just stay tuned. I hope that I can give back to people here and certainly help others that are going through similar situations.